Hello everyone, Berserkhead here, and welcome to this multiplayer battle for Total War Rome 2. This time I command the Suebi. Last time I command Sparta, which is my maybe least favorite faction. And you know, the Suebi, I really like them. But the first time I played with the Suebi, I just failed because I used the pre-built army. And it was kind of bad, so this time I built my own army. But what I want to say first is that the last multiplayer battle that I uploaded, the replay was corrupted, so I couldn't show you the whole battle. But this time I made sure that the replay is just working fine. I just checked it. Last time I could go to the very end of the battle. Hopefully I won't have any problems right now. So as you can see, my opponent there command Macedon, so I kind of panicked at the beginning, because if you play Rome 1 and you command Germania and your opponent commands Macedon, you've got absolutely no chance. But this time, you know, that's a different game, so it was still kind of not that scary for me. But yeah, once again I built my own army this time. I didn't get any upgrades because I just wanted to test this configuration and see how it works. So let me show it to you, because my opponent camped there and I told him that we're not gonna fight if he intends to stay on this hill there, and I told him I'm gonna move, but you should move first. So now let me show you my army. I've got 6 units of sword masters, which are the best kind of swords units, like swordsman units for Germania. They're better than the berserkers. Their stats are better. I think they've got higher morale and so on. Then 3 units of Wadana spears. By the way, 3 of my sword masters are hidden there, and I didn't intend to reveal them until the battle starts and then kind of ambush my opponent. Anyways, 3 units of Wadana spears, 3 units of longbow hunters, which once again are the best archers. For Germania, they've got some other skirmish units, but they're kind of like javelin men, so it's always better to get archers. And then 3 units of noble raiders, and I think my general was in one of them, and I got the warrior type general, which was a very good decision. Now let me show you my enemy's army, and then I'm just gonna fast forward, because he really thought that I'm gonna let him camp like this and attack him, which, you know, that's not gonna work. So his general was in one of these units, in these shield bearers. He didn't get any phalanx. Like, these are just spearmen, they're not phalanx. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, they're very heavy spear infantry, they're not phalanx. Then he brought some of these royal peltasts, and he brought 2 units of these mercenary Rhodian slingers, and then some mercenary Cretan archers, and yeah, his cavalry here. He brought 3 units that had some upgrades, I think 2 experience chevrons. So they were the thing that was concerning me the most. But as you can see, he had the edge in skirmish units, so what I intended to do was just attack him and kind of try to kill these units first, because once I'm able to deal with the cavalry and with the infantry, these guys are just no match for me. Anyways, enough rambling. Now let me fast forward, because once again he just tried to camp there. I said it's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna wait there until we start marching, and now I'm gonna start moving as well any moment now. So we're gonna meet somewhere here. And what I like about the new line of sight system, actually that's not a new feature, but when you move your troops, unless they're running, as long as they're hidden somewhere, your opponent cannot see them, which is really nice. Now you can really use the kind of more ambush tactics, and that's really good, since I use the Suebi, and Suebi really, they rely on these ambush tactics a lot. So now I'm just, moving them with the rest of my troops. I'm not running, I'm not, trying to rush. So here I first, these are my spearmen. They're gonna kind of get some, my opponent's now just moving his slingers first, so they're gonna get some damage here. But they've got these shields, so they can protect them. Plus slingers are still a little bit underpowered in Rome 2, I think. So I wasn't concerned about this at this point. I knew that he cannot do a lot of damage. So I'm moving my archers. I know that my archers can do much more damage than these slingers, but still my opponent got some archers as well, plus some peltasts. If he decided to move them, he could do a lot of damage. Even on these kind of spear units and my sword masters. So yeah, now we're gonna start shooting each other. As you can see, the first volley wasn't very successful, and he still able to inflict more casualties than I am, which, you know, I don't like. But now he's gonna move these Cretan archers as well, and he's gonna start shooting me with them, and I'm gonna try and aim at them, but as you can see, they're just behind this unit here, which is gonna protect them very well, so I'm not gonna be able to take a lot of casualties. Plus I think they've got better armor than my archers, so yeah, this is the point where I kinda got concerned about my opponent's units and his skirmish units. So as you can see, I cannot do a lot of damage at this point. I'm barely doing anything. So now he's gonna start, as you can see now, these guys already started wavering. So at this point, I was like, I should move my troops and I should start engaging, since I have advantage in infantry, and I should use this advantage in infantry and not lose more troops to his skirmish units. So that's why, as you can see, my units are still not running. And now they're gonna charge any moment now. I didn't want to move my Wadana spears because I just wanted to use them against his cavalry, but that was very difficult to happen. Plus I wanted to rush all of my troops right there before I can reveal these guys. I actually revealed them right now, but it's gonna take some time, so these guys may rout before these guys can even reach here. So that's why I decided to reinforce with my Wadana spears as well. Plus I moved my cavalry here, and I knew that my enemy's cavalry is better, but I still hope that they can hold them, and you know, if I rout these guys, I'll be able to deal with my enemy's cavalry as well. So here I did some good damage with my javelins. That's a good advantage of the Germanic units, that they bring some javelins that they throw before they engage. So, you know, they were able to do a lot of damage. So here my opponent hit one of these units. I knew it. I was able to kind of cut their path right there, so they couldn't get a very good charge. So here he rushed with one of his spell test units, and I didn't see that, by the way, but you know, at this point I was like, I should just keep this guy as much as I can, and I shouldn't allow him to make any hammer and anvils and stuff like that. But my units are still routing, and I really didn't expect that, since I rushed here with my hidden units, and you know, this was not the side where I expected to lose. But you know, he routed like 2 units, or actually 1, and now he's gonna rout another one. But at least I'm winning here. I'm clearly outnumbering him, and he's trying to do some damage with his spell tests. He is not being successful, so he's just rushing in with them. And these Cretan archers, they're still shooting more archers, and so I'm not concerned about them at all. Archers are not gonna do a lot of damage at this point. They cannot do much damage anymore. And here, these guys started routing, very surprising for me, and I thought that my enemy's general is in one of his cavalry units, which, you know, I was wrong about that actually, so maybe that's why I won this battle. I didn't know it though, and I thought that these are spearmen, so I just wanted to get my units out, but I knew that if I get my units out, they're gonna turn their backs, and consequently many of them are gonna die, so I didn't want to do that at this point. I was like, I'm gonna sacrifice them, I think, and you know, hopefully still some of them will survive, but you know, I'm concentrating on the infantry fight here, and I know that once I win the infantry fight, the battle will be mine. But now my opponent's trying to do some hammer and anvils here, but still I have the clear edge, plus my general unit is you know, my general's a warrior, so he's got some good abilities that can reduce their morale and do a lot of damage. So here I'm pretty much winning the battle. As you can see, my men are cheering here, so they've won the battle. It's gonna be a little tricky to catch these guys, but still I've got a lot of infantry left, and now I should just deal with, I think this is their last infantry unit, so once I deal with them, I'll pretty much have to deal with only skirmish units, which is not that it's tricky catching them, but once you catch them, it's really easy. Like, they cannot do a lot of damage. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I retreated. Probably I just you know, misclicked or something. So here these guys don't want to rout, which is kind of bad, since they're now just killing my troops here from behind, and that's really bad. But here I'm still like winning the battle, but at this point I just decided to retreat, which was not a very good decision. One of my units will route now. One of them actually routed. These guys are not gonna route, but they're gonna have a tough time dealing with these guys. Plus now these guys are gonna you know, get a charge on my units, but fortunately I was able to deal with these guys before they can do anything. So now I'm just getting all of my infantry units together, and you know, they're throwing some spears, but you know, they're just a belt test units, so once again I'll be able to deal with them whatever happens there. And now I knew that I was gonna win this cavalry battle, but it was very costly for me. You can see I barely have any cavalry units left, but you know, fortunately my general was still alive, and I think my enemy's general routed at this point, so that was a good thing. But once again, I didn't know that his general is, I thought that it was in this unit here, but it was in one of these spear units. So now I'm gonna get my general close, and I'm gonna make a hammer naval. I used one of his abilities here so that I can make my charge as successful as possible. So as you can see, one of these units was routing. Now they're not routing anymore. So at this point I should just deal with these units here, which once again is gonna be kind of tricky since my cavalry is very depleted. So they're gonna suffer, like it's gonna be very difficult for them since their morale is gonna be very low. And yeah, once I charge these guys, they're gonna start wavering. But I didn't know that, so I just rushed in. I try to do a lot of damage here, you know, as much damage as I can with my cavalry, and then just finish them off with my infantry. But as you can see, now they couldn't kill all of them, so now they're gonna, one of my units are gonna start routing at some point. Not sure if it's here or a little bit after that, but that's gonna happen eventually. And my infantry here dealt with these guys. These guys are wavering, and these guys are wavering, and I think I missed the point where my cavalry was wavering, but now they're fine, which is really good. And I think this is where the battle ends. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where the battle ends. Now all of the units are routing. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so hopefully, I'm not sure if I will be able to show you all the like battle statistics, but I'll see if I can do that. Okay, so it turns out I can show you the battle statistics, so that's kind of bad, but in any case, it was a good battle. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope that they'll implement a feature which will allow me to show you the battle statistic. But once again, I should maybe start doing live commentaries, and this way I'll be able to do that for sure. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Goodbye.